Turn yourself into Indianapolis. What do you think is going to happen at that point to you?
I didn't know. I was in shock. My head was spinning from being hit in the head multiple times. I had some minor injuries. I just didn't know. I didn't know I was going to be arrested for defending myself because everything was on video. But part of the reason I think I was arrested is because of the mob mentality. And they were like, yeah, we're just going to arrest him, even though there was videos already out showing me being attacked and having to defend myself.
So when was it that you were arrested?
I was arrested on August 25th at around 6 a.m. I was formally arrested without a criminal complaint being drafted. They didn't know what they were charging me with yet. They just arrested me.
At home?
At Antioch Police Department.
What did your parents say when you called them and told them what had happened?
I didn't call my mom after I saw her, and she was in shock. She was like, she wanted to go into hiding, and I said, no, the right thing to do would be to turn myself in. I didn't do anything wrong.
So you knew that from the very beginning?
I knew that. A lot of people are like, oh, Kyle had time to meet with his attorneys to come up with this amazing defense of self-defense. No, that's not the case. This has been 100% self-defense from the beginning, and I didn't know there was 100 cameras. But I did know I was attacked, and I defended myself.
What do you think would have happened to you if there hadn't been the amount of video that there is?
I can't even imagine. I don't think we'd be sitting here right now having this talk, Tucker.
That's for sure. You'd never get out. Rittenhouse knows perfectly well the only reason he's free is because he can prove what actually happened thanks to those videos, but it didn't prevent him from going to jail anyway. He did for a longer period than most people understand. During that time, he picked up a couple of attorneys who said they would help him. In his view, they badly abused him and his family and their trust. I'll tell you a lot about that in just a minute, and about the prosecutors. Also, a programming note, we had cameras behind the scenes throughout much of this case. Our Tucker Carlson Originals documentary called The Trial of Kyle premieres in December. Hey, it's Tucker Carlson. We spent the last couple of months working on a project that we're finally ready to roll out. We're going to get to the bottom of what really happened on January 6th with an unprecedented level of propaganda about that. We think we found the truth. We've got a multi-part series on Tucker Carlson Originals called Patriot Purge. That's on Fox Nation. Another Fox Nation show, Tucker Carlson Today, is going to feature episodes with interviews tying it all together. Here's an exclusive first look. What exactly happened on January 6th? How much of what we were told about that day is a lie?
If that was an insurrection, it was the most poorly conducted insurrection ever.
Yeah, and I'm going to be talking about this one too.
Patriot Purge, streaming now, exclusively on Fox Nation.
Patriot Purge behind it, but hey, I don't endorse it yet. We'll see what the news says.
Body and how well you sleep? Is it too hard or too soft, causing you to wake up with sore shoulders, back, or hips? Are you uncomfortable because you're too hot or too cold? Get total body support and better sleep with a MyPillow mattress topper.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. When I invented my new MyPillow mattress topper, I made it to have everything you'd ever want in a topper. My mattress topper helps give you the support you need, helps relieve your pressure points, and regulates your body temperature for you as an individual. It comes with a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry the cover. It's made in the USA, and I back it with my 60-day money-back guarantee.
MyPillow topper delivers on its promise to give me a better night's sleep.
For a limited time, save 50% on a MyPillow mattress topper with your promo code. Now as low as $99.99. Go to MyPillow.com or call now. Don't delay. Order now.
I personally guarantee it's going to change your bed into the most comfortable bed you'll ever own.
Some things you just can't put a price on, like family, freedom, and your God-given rights. So while you can't control what happens tomorrow, you can choose what to protect today. Spartan Safe can give you peace of mind, knowing you have the security and fire protection you need for the things in life that are truly irreplaceable. With Black Friday pricing all month and safes as low as $5.99, Now's the time to protect what you value the most with Spartan Safe. Protect what you can't replace.
America is listening to the Fox News Rundown with top news stories 7 days a week and a contrast of perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. Download the Fox News Rundown at foxnewspodcasts.com. Introducing Glass Office Chair Mats by Vitraza, the premium alternative to cracked, curled, and worn-out plastic mats. Now you'll always get a smooth, easy glide because super strong Vitraza glass chair mats made right here in the USA are engineered to hold over 1,000 pounds and never dent. They're also protected with a nanotech coating, and they're beautiful. Comfort, style, durability. A Vitraza glass chair mat will completely transform your workspace, home office or office. Buy direct at Vitraza.com. We're so confident you'll love it, we give you a lifetime warranty and a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. It's the last chair mat you'll have to buy, I promise. Give up on worn-out plastic mats and get the look you deserve. We stock 18 popular sizes and we'll ship free right to your front door. Order online and use promo code TV to get 10% off any glass chair mat at Vitraza.com.
Feel free to leave your take in here. If there's any questions you need to ask. I'm way more than happy to help answer them.
Talk about it,
I got 18 and a half years of military police law enforcement background, so there's a lot of self-defense and things and rules of force and stuff
time that his family
that we can
desperately,
discuss
mother mostly desperately,
if you disagree with the
for legal counsel,
Kyle
representation,
Rittenhouse
so help him
verdict.
get out of jail.
Personally, as
In
a
the
veteran,
end, the family was represented by
I
a
did
pair of
my own
lawyers called
research. I
Linwood
also looked
and
at
John
that tape
Pierce.
and a few other tapes.
This came up out of
I'm gonna
nowhere.
be
We were
honest
not
with
expecting
you.
to have
I
this
agree.
conversation. We were taken
I
by
think that it
surprise
wasn't
a little bit, but
self-defense.
it's really interesting.
And the
Here's
reason why I
Kyle
say that
Rittenhouse's
is
description
because
of
in
what
the
his
heat
lawyers
of the
did to him.
moment, when he was being attacked, it doesn't matter how many bullets
She
you
get
fired or
arrested.
anything like that.
What
It
happens
is what
then?
it is.
Once I'm
Guy was in
arrested, I
self-defense.
go
He was
to
attacked
Deputy
first.
Juvenile
And here we go.
facility,
Let's go
and
ahead and tune in.
I gotta say thank you to them for their professionalism and
The jailers?
the guards at Deputy. They were the utmost professional people I've ever met.
Really?
Exactly. They were some of the most professional people I've ever met.
Wow,
it was amazing. Like, they treated me with respect, and they didn't like talk down to you like you've seen like in some videos. They just treated me like I was a human.
How long were you there?
I was in jail for 87 days, and this follows in with Lynn Wood, Lynn Wood was raising money on my behalf, and he held me in jail for 87 days, disrespected my wishes, put me on media interviews, which I should never have done, which he said, oh, you're going to go talk to the Washington Post, which was not a good idea, along with John Pierce. They said I was safer in jail instead of at home with my family. And then after I'm bailed,
your lawyer said that?
My lawyer said that. John Pierce and Lynn Wood.
87 days is a long time to be in jail.
It was very long. I lost a lot of weight in there. I since then gained it back.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. But 87 days of not being with my family for defending myself and being taken advantage to, being used for a cause by John Pierce and Lynn Wood, trying to trying to raise money so they can take it for their own benefit, not trying to set me free.
So you think they could have raised the money for bail faster, but they didn't?
I believe sometime in September 5th, I want to say, they had over $1 million, and bail was set and able to be posted in September. So they could have had me sign the waiver for extradition and had me back in Wisconsin, and I could have been bailed out by mid-September. But they wanted to keep me in jail until November 20th.
What was that like?
It was scary in jail. Like, you had to watch over yourself, and not a lot of people liked me in jail until the funny thing is, a lot of people didn't like me in jail, but they got to hear like my story, and they got to understand me. Like, he's actually a really decent person. I'm not this person that the media painted him out to be. And it was scary, but I was able to make friends, I'd say, acquaintance in jail, and like play spades, card games with them.
Amazing. So you're in jail for 87 days. Do you have a sense of how your case is being talked about in the outside world?
Man. Come on, bro.
Not really when I'm in jail,
like
but once I am bailed out, John Pierce said I was in an unorganized militia, which is just blatantly false. I didn't know what a militia was.
Wait, your lawyer said you were in a militia?
John Pierce said that, and it's blatantly false. I didn't know what a militia was until after the fact, until November 25th, after I was watching some of the interviews he did. I was like, I'm not in a militia. I don't know what that is.
Sorry to laugh.
And I was like, what the heck? And I'm like, no wonder people are saying I'm in a militia. It's because he painted that narrative, which he should never have gone there.
Well, yeah, it's untrue.
Exactly.
Were you surprised so I haven't heard you mention race at all in this conversation. You said you saw your community on fire, you wanted to help. You asked a business owner if you could help. Were you surprised to see this framed as a racial story?
To be honest, Tucker, this case has nothing to do with race. It never had anything to do with race. It had to do with the right to self-defense.
I agree.
What a sweet kid. I think that comes through loud and clear. Playing hearts in jail. But he seems confused by the descriptions
I'm tripping on
of this case as pertaining somehow to race. What he didn't know when he was locked away for 87 days is that the media, spurred on by Democratic politicians like Joe Biden, immediately branded him a white supremacist. Again, the President of the United States did that, so did several members of Congress. Now, during the trial, one of the prosecutors, Thomas Binger, particularly loathsome character, the government lawyer, mocked Kyle Rittenhouse for putting out fires in Kenosha. It's dishonorable to put out fires, apparently, when BLM sets them. So we asked Kyle Rittenhouse about that. Here's what he said.
I'm not a racist person. I support the BLM movement. I support peacefully demonstrating. And I believe there needs to be change. I believe there's a lot of prosecutorial misconduct, not just in my case, but in other cases. And it's just amazing to see how much a prosecutor can take advantage of somebody. Like, if they did this to me, imagine what they could have done to a person of color who doesn't maybe have the resources I do, or it's not widely publicized like my case.
What did you make of the President of the United States calling you a white supremacist?
Mr. President, if I can say one thing to you, I would urge you to go back and watch the trial and understand the facts before you make a statement.
That's not a small thing to be called that.
No, it's actual malice, defaming my character for him to say something like that.
Yep.
I mean, why do you think, and it's not simply Biden who said that, it's a lot of people on television have said that. A lot, dozens of people have said that. I'm sorry to tell you, in case you haven't seen it.
It's actually quite hysterical how nobody can go back and look at the facts of the case. He crossed state lines. False. He's a white supremacist. False. None of that is true. And the lies that they can just get away with spreading is just sickening, and it's a disgrace to this country.
I couldn't agree more. So before this, I mean, you're 17 years old, so you're probably not, watching cable news all day or, deeply into politics, or maybe you were. But did you know how dishonest media coverage of events could be?
I didn't. I've never seen something so polarizing in my life when it's obvious self-defense. If you look at the case, you look at the facts, no matter what your opinion is or where you stand. This wasn't a political case. It shouldn't have been a political case. It was made a political case. This had nothing to do with race. And the ways people are twisting this, it's just sickening.
I think a lot of people watching have reached the same conclusion, and they would like to see you, help make this better by holding some of these liars to account. Do you plan to do that?
I have really good lawyers who are taking care of that right now. So I'm hoping one day there will be accountability for their actions that they did.
Okay, so you're intent on you're not going to let that
go. Like I said, really good lawyers are handling that.
Yeah. So during the trial, was there ever a point where you thought, despite the fact you had all this video evidence on your side bolstering your story, did you ever think, I might go to jail for the rest of my life?
That was a thought I had every single day until I got the not guilty verdict.
Really?
It was because are you aware who Joellen Demetrius is?
Yes.
So Joellen selected my jury, which she did an amazing job, but you still have that gut, that feeling in your stomach and knots to where, like, what if somebody snuck their way onto my jury to convict me? So that was something that always went through my head. But I know where I stand, and I know I defended myself.
Were you surprised by the verdict?
I wasn't. I thought they came to the correct verdict because it wasn't Kyle Rittenhouse on trial in Wisconsin. It was the right to self-defense on trial. Right. And if I was convicted, no one would ever be privileged to defend their life against attackers.
Yep.
And thank God they came to the correct verdict of not guilty.
We'll talk about that too. That's not the case. You still got to go through litigation, guys.
So the media lies about the police shooting of Jacob Blake. A riot ensues. Young people from throughout the area rush to the riot to set things on fire. Kyle Rittenhouse shows up to prevent things from being burned to the ground, to stop arson. Guess whose side our leaders take? They call him a white supremacist. They slander him. Watching him speak, you realize just how disgusting what they did to him is.
Yep.
Just ahead, he describes the months that he spent in jail and the conditions there, which will shock you, and how it affected his health. That's next.
Okay, so here's how I feel about this, guys. Honestly, about what was just said about self-defense being on trial. Look, we don't want, you know what I mean? We want to take this personal, right? We want to be in the guy's shoes, and we want to be in the other guy's shoes too, and the family's shoes now that have to carry on that guy that was killed, the two guys that were killed, right? The other one that was wounded. Two bitter sides, right? But we have to look straight down the middle. What was the facts? The facts were proven in the video, right? That he was being attacked while he was shooting. Okay. Now, regardless of the facts of him not being, you know what I mean, being in Wisconsin at his friend's house versus where he lives and all that other crap, we're talking about the incident. The 3 minutes that surrounded that incident and him saying it was self-defense. In that moment, that's what we have to look at, guys. In the moment, okay, it was definitely self-defense. Here's the deal. We can all say it's not self-defense. You know what I mean? He fired at him 4 times. That's like a current argument right now. Is he shot him 4 times. He shot him while he was going down. Well, I'm going to tell you from experience, okay? When you're in the situation, you're going to react to that situation the way you're going to react to it. Regardless of what that guy thinks, what you may think, what somebody else may think, you are going to react to that situation how it's going to happen. In his case, he was booted in the face. All right, the first guy was chasing him down, saying he was going to probably kill him. I mean, we can look at the video, the bag thrown and all this crap. But when you're being chased, you have a weapon on you. First of all, somebody really shouldn't chase you when you have a long arm on you, and you're not, you know what I mean, and you're in a riot situation. You should alert the authorities, right? You should get somebody on your side, law enforcement. But then again, we don't want law enforcement involved anymore, right? Because law enforcement is part of the fascist movement, as like some of these guys on some other Twitch streamers like to say, right? All this fascism and we're corrupt and police need to go away and you know, Kyle Rittenhouse is a vigilante running around the streets. No, the guys that were marching down the road in the first place with the intent to burn cars and to break windows, that's not what I went to war for, guys. I didn't go to war for those clowns to do that kind of shit, okay? I went to war for those type of rights of self-defense, being able to carry arms, all right, to defend ourselves against takeover, hostile takeover, or even a governmental takeover. Okay, that's what it's intended for. The Second Amendment, whether people like it or not, was designed to defend the people in the situation to where government has failed. Do you guys understand that? That's what I want everybody to see. It was designed for when government fails and they try to like hold everybody down and do what they want to do and have all the power and control you. That's what that's for, the right to bear arms against that. Okay? Because we were made free. Everybody has the right to freedom. Okay? Everybody has the right to self-defense. Everybody has the right to bear arms because that protects our freedom and our life. So, I'm really honestly wanting you guys to give me your comments. You know, let's talk about it because there might be something I'm missing that you guys might have saw. Because, like I said, this is one man's opinion. I am a veteran. It is a veteran's opinion. It's not the entire opinion of the veteran community. So if there's other veterans that want to talk about it, that maybe they disagree, man, I like to hear it too because, you know, I understand that things kind of start going one way or the other. So feel free, guys. Join in the chat, man. This is really eye-opening, though. I ain't gonna lie. Well, fuck me running. Let's go ahead and trigger the shit out of me right now. All right.
For the perpetration. Lara Logan has no agenda. 21st Century Terrorism revealed. Streaming now exclusively on Fox Nation.
So people supposedly working on his behalf raised millions of dollars supposedly for Kyle Rittenhouse, and yet Kyle Rittenhouse, a child, spent months in jail. And it was awful. Well, he's not much of a complainer, you'll notice, but here's what he told us about that experience. So you're in the juvenile facility, you're 17, but then you turn 18, you go to Kenosha County Jail.
Actually, I go to Kenosha County Jail as I'm 17. I'm in adult jail. At October 31st, I'm extradited, which I agree with. I wanted to go to Kenosha County Jail from the beginning. I was extradited to Kenosha County Jail. My attorney, John Pierce, said, "Oh, we're going to keep you in juvenile facility." I always want to be extradited. And I had no problem with that, but he forgot to file the saying. He didn't even know I was going. So my attorney didn't know I was going to jail, which is quite sickening because he should have known.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of an attorney.
Yeah, right? Thank God I have competent counsel now.
Yeah.
But the jail was interesting. I was in my own room. It was kind of like a one-star, I'm going to describe it as a one-star hotel. Or one-star hotel. We'll go with a Super 8.
Jail is a one-star hotel. That is
desk,
right there.
I had a shower.
Y'all need to write that one
toilet,
down.
I had a TV. I had a tablet. But I didn't have running water.
Seriously.
I had a phone also, but I did not have running water, so I didn't shower until November 20th.
How long
From
is
October 31st to November 20th, I did not take a shower.
That's disgusting.
I smelled terrible. I felt sick. I lost weight.
Y'all
My
probably
health
think
was
he deserved
degrading.
that, right? 'Cause he's a criminal.
If I was in there for a month longer, I would have probably been in a
This guy
hospital.
complaining about, hey, look, man.
You had no running water.
No running water in my jail cell.
Prison, I get it.
Did they let you out?
Around that time,
To talk with my attorneys. I didn't really say anything about my running water because I don't like to bring attention to myself. I didn't want to draw any problems with any of the guards. So I was like, I'm just gonna shut up and not mention that I don't have running water. But I didn't shower until November 20th. And when I showered, I took like a 3-hour shower. I had like blood. My skin was bleeding because my skin was coming off of my body. It was just the nastiest thing ever. And I feel bad for Dave, who's been with me through the beginning, who's helped start freekyleusa.org. I feel bad for him because he had to deal with my smell for that 3-hour car ride. So I give him all the credit in the world.
Imagine putting that kid in jail. One of the very few people in downtown Kenosha that night who was there for the right reasons, who was trying to help, who was trying to bring order out of disorder, who was trying to protect rather than destroy. And they put him in jail. And the most infuriating part is the facts haven't changed. Videotape of that night was available almost immediately to anyone who wanted to see it. It was very clear this man had acted, this boy had acted in self-defense. And they locked him up anyway because of political pressure. So what are Kyle Rittenhouse's plans for the future? How do you live in America if you're Kyle Rittenhouse? We asked him that. Let's straight ahead.
What do you think, y'all? So, I thought that was kind of He said he was bleeding. His skin was coming off. Golly, boy. I tell you what, man. Look, there's the other side of the coin, too. You're still in trouble. You're still being investigated. You know what I mean? You got to, hey, that's the law, too. You can't complain about the law, which says if you are charged with a crime, especially a felony, you are incarcerated. You in a wait trial and arraignment. That's the way it is, unless you make bail. And I mean, I know that he was misled by his lawyers and everything like that, but hey, I honestly strongly agree too that the prison conditions and the jail conditions in America are very minimal. You know what I mean? Like they treat inmates very minimal. There's a good and a bad to that. You guys know what I mean. The good to that is, of course, our own mindset, right? Which says they need to be punished. That's what they're there for. They shouldn't have killed nobody, raped, pillaged, stole, whatever the hell they did. I'm on that wagon halfway, right? I'm partially there. But the other half says, as a Christian, as a veteran, look, honestly, they deserve to be treated humanely as well. So, if that's an area of concern that Tucker Carlson brought into the picture, I think he brought that into light for a reason. Maybe to turn that switch on to look at the justice system and to look at the jails and things like that and what's going on in them. Well, hey, I hope that is a run. You know what I mean? I grew up in the Los Angeles area, so back in my day, back in the 80s, right, in the early 90s, we're talking about 91 through 93, etc. That was the gangster rap movement, right? And then you had, you know, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, NWA, Eazy-E, and all these guys come together, and they really were beating up the prison system. And so I know firsthand that stuff's been going on for years. You know what I mean? And is that a misappropriation of use of money on the prisons end? Probably not. Is it an influx of inmates? Yes. Part of that is the migration. Illegal immigration, I should say, where they come into the country and they're felons and things like that, and they get locked up in our penitentiaries. Guess what? Guess who pays the bill? You do. So, I mean, our funds are stretched, guys. You know what I mean? So, hey, good, valid argument. I think Kyle Rittenhouse got lucky getting bailed out, like, and being able to go home and things like that. So, not a real lot of sympathy there about the prison thing. I can't lie. You on a hit for double murder, man. You know what I mean? Until you're proven innocent, that's the way it is. And I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth.
Who discovered the joy of relaxing work days. Now we've integrated penetrating heat and massage into our patented dynamic variable lumbar support.
Y'all let me know what you think.
You
know what I mean about the trial and things like that.
It's impossible to get them out of it. But
I'll be right back.
Don't have to share because you can get $100 off any model on our
with a network of the most successful real estate agents in America. It'll sell your home for as little as a 2% commission. The icing on the cake would be
let my little one play some Fortnite because y'all know we like to play Fortnite. I've been streaming the heck out of some Fortnite with her in the mornings and stuff. So she's jumping on the sticks real quick, getting them practice minutes in. You know what I mean? So we make them streams look good.
And we would have saved 6 months of,
Hey, thanks for your views, by the way. I really appreciate you guys just even stopping in to check on this guy and see, hey, what's this guy about? I appreciate that. I do different things. Gaming is primary because this is, Twitch, and that's what I joined it up for. So you'll see a lot of video game streams. This is going to be every so now and then. I'm going to do a few pieces on important things like this and a different perspective, because you're hearing a lot of progressive movement stuff. You know what I mean, about F the police and all this stuff. Well, let's get the vets' take on it. And I like to see y'all follow, man. If you like it, hey, jump on and tune in.
And he tries his best
and
to do
we'll
the right
continue
thing at a time when almost nobody else in the community is trying to do the right thing, but he does. And in return for that, the state, under political pressure, throws him in prison. Then the people who swear they will help him take advantage of him. It's a lot. So what does he plan to do now that he's been acquitted? Well, here's that part of the interview. What do you think your life's going to be like after this?
I'm hoping I can live a quiet, stress-free life, and be free of any intimidation or harassment, and just go on with my life as a normal 18-year-old kid attending college.
So you're going to go to college?
I am in college. I'm a student at Arizona State University.
What I mean, are you going to go to campus? And
I think I am. I want to. It's a lot of things we have to learn. I may change it. I've been looking into law. I may want to become a lawyer. I haven't completely decided yet. But I've been looking, I want to be a nurse, so I've been doing the prerequisites for that.
Interesting. Do you think you can have that you can live peacefully in this country unmolested?
I hope so, but I can't read the future. I'm hoping that people go back and understand the facts and be like, watch the trial, watch the prosecutorial misconduct that I believe happened, and realize that I was an innocent 17-year-old who was violently attacked and defended myself.
Because you wanted to clean graffiti and protect a car lot.
And apparently, a lot of people on the left, it's criminal to want to protect your community.
Do you feel like your life's been destroyed by this?
I feel my life has been extremely defamed by it. I don't think I would be able to go out and get a job and not have to deal with harassment. But I'm at a place now to where I have to have people with me, because people want to kill me just because I defended myself, and they're too ignorant to look at the facts of what happened.
Think about looking.
Do you feel
like
the threats?
That's a real thing.
I do. I see some of the threats. Some of the things people say. It's absolutely sickening.
Are you confident that the government will protect you from these threats? Because that's, of course, the government's job.
I hope so, but we all know how the FBI works.
Yeah. I mean, looking back, it's been
you just dropped that microphone
year and a half, less than even. This is not the life that you planned, obviously.
No, it is far from the life I planned. This is something that I wish never would have happened, but it did, and we can't change that. But how polarized it became is absolutely sickening. Yeah. Like, right or left, people using me for a cause that should never have been used as a cause.
I read that you're not going to stay in the Midwest.
I'm not. I'm going to find somewhere to live. Before this, I actually wanted to move to Naples, Florida, and then this happened. But I don't know where I'm going to go. I'm going to go lay low and live my life and enjoy it.
Why are you so calm?
I'm a naturally calm person. I find it to be a problem when people are overreacting, because things are out of our control. So I try not to deal with that.
Huh. I mean, just for the...
Believe me, on the inside, I'm freaking out.
Well, you must be. I mean, for the record, you just got acquitted.
I would be too.
Yeah, I mean, like 2 days ago. So that was the first thing I noticed, that you seem very calm. You don't seem like someone who's just been through, had his mind blown.
Yeah, on the inside, I'm freaking out, but the best thing you can do, you freak out, everybody else freaks out. It's like a chain reaction.
Yes.
So the best thing I can do is stay calm.
Do you feel like you've been watched over?
I believe God's been on my side from the beginning.
Be on CNN in about 20 minutes.
Hard to imagine you could have watched the whole trial,
I guarantee it,
and then watch those 48 minutes and come away thinking Kyle Rittenhouse is a monster. Just the opposite, actually. As we said, this is a boy who sincerely believed in the promises of America. Do the right thing, be honest, worked hard to turn himself into the police. Their response, they pepper sprayed him. He had to drive across state lines, speaking of, to turn himself in to the police. It's an amazing story, and it's a deeply sad story for what it says, not about him, but about the rest of us. We've got reactions tonight to the interview we just did from Judge Jeanine Pirro. We've also got behind-the-scenes footage that we shot, our producer shot for our documentary series, Behind the Scenes at the Rittenhouse Trial. That's all next.
There's nobody that gives more than a first responder family or than a military family.
So what do you guys think?
Because I fell in love with a man.
What do you guys think if you were in that situation? Do you think
as
that
devastated as my kids
how would
were,
you
he's
how would
gone
you react? You know what I mean?
How
How would you like? How would you have it?
Personally, you know, I lost my brother.
From 9/11.
What would you do? You know what I mean? Would you stick around? Would you move? Would you be afraid for the rest of your life? Would you feel like you had to hire security to watch over you because of death threats? I mean,
And a Marine.
look, there's two different things, and I like what Tucker said there. You know what I mean? And this is what we don't get with liberal news media, is an actual human perspective on things and not just a judgment.
Grief and
Okay?
shock was, how am I going to pay the
So,
bills? Not only do I have
Tucker
7
Carlson
kids,
brought
but I
it
have
to
to stay
the
at home mom.
to the thing
I was
like,
in the airport on the way to Dover.
you're so
Airways,
calm.
traveling
You
to
know what I
go
mean?
get rents for
And I know why he did that,
And my sister
because he
called
wanted
and she said, how
to
much do you owe on your
show
mortgage?
that the man,
Apparently you
if
reached
he's
out to her
if
and said
he's
you're
so
gonna help me
calm
take
on the
care of it.
outside and he's reacting this way, can you imagine the pressure he was under
because it changes
in that
people's
situation
lives.
where he had to shoot those two
House.
guys?
My daughter has a place.
I mean,
to
imagine
call her own without worrying about
being
going
him
from apartment to apartment.
for a second.
There'll be a
Imagine
home that does things for me.
now your
I
life
have
has
a
suddenly
stove
changed
where I can
because
cook for my
everybody's so
neighbor,
on
so
edge
I
on
can
razor
cook
blades in the
I can
United
cook stuff
States
for my family.
over racial
It was
prejudice
almost
and
shocking.
things that
It was one of those, like,
are supposedly
I don't
still
really know
occurring
what to
since
do
the
with this.
1800s, which I really don't
Being
agree with, and we don't
mortgage-free
need to
has
get into
allowed
that
me to do so many other
because
things
this
that
is
I don't
not a
have to
racial
worry about
conversation at
paying
all or a
for my
topic.
house.
If everybody thinks it's a racial topic, it's not true because the dude shot.
We've been doing.
I mean, his own race, so we can't even
haven't yet.
talk about that.
This
Okay,
is the time to do it.
it doesn't count.
Because there's hundreds
Period.
of families, if not
But I will
thousands,
say that
we
now,
still have to help.
because of
So go to
us and how we react to things as a country,
$11 a month, $11 a month.
that this
change a whole
boy
family's
will
life
never be free of this. So imagine living in those shoes where you had to defend yourself because you were defending property. You know what I mean? Because of these things happening. I mean, look at the crap going on in San Francisco today, guys. I know you've been. I know that's been popping up everywhere. Okay, look at a county away, same state. You got a guy that just ran over children and old people. You know what I'm saying? Come on. I mean, this is how we're acting. As Americans, we have, since when do we have a convoy full of cars pull up and overpower department stores and steal over $1 million worth of stuff? Is this the country that many that have gone before me, including probably your relatives and I, included, and my relatives? Is this what we're about? Is this what I went to war to defend?
That's 800-14-14.
How we could sit here and get hung up on one man and his self-defense and how this can affect a country?
Because they use the same network as the
This is one man, guys. This doesn't define us as a nation.
$30 a month for unlimited
Okay?
talk, text, and
that's what I want to try to portray.
With no contract. The average family saves over $70
If we would live
a month
by the
switching
principles
to
that our
Pure Talk.
forefathers have
And
set,
remember,
the good
you'll
ones,
get the same
right?
number of bars
The
because it's on the
Constitution
same network as the larger
of it.
providers.
I'm
Dial
talking about
pound
black and
250
white,
say Pure
written.
TV to save 50%
If we can
off
stand
your
by
first
that
month.
creed,
Pure Talk. Simply, smart.
it lasted us for how many years without a problem? All of a sudden, if you notice, it started to become an issue because people want to do more and more of what they want to do, and they don't want to be restrained with anything. Anything, meaning it's on the verge of being bad, guys. It's on the verge of being over the top.
At My Pillow, we
You
have
know what I'm saying?
hundreds of products,
Of
including my new
acceptable.
slippers, bathrobe, sleepwear,
Even the
and
stuff
my
we
new
listen
beds.
to on
We
the
are
radio,
offering the
I have to
best
censor
gifts
my
ever
kids
for
on
the best
public
prices
radio
ever.
now just to
For
make sure that
example,
they're
you
not
get my
listening to
new
the wrong
towels
stuff.
with
I mean,
proprietary
do you see where our
technology,
value
which
system is
makes them
going?
not only
This
soft,
is
but
partly
absorbent.
why
Towels that work.
you see these
What a
things happen.
concept. They're
I'll
made
be
with
honest.
USA cotton and they come in
It
a
starts in our
variety of
schools.
awesome colors.
Critical race
My
theory.
6-piece towel
Critical
set
race theory. You
is
should
regularly
take that book, honestly, that
$29.99,
critical race
now
theory
just
crap, and go shred
$39.99
it.
with your
Because all
promo
you're
code.
doing is
So
teaching
go to
hate. If you really
mypillow.com
want to
now
get rid of all
and use
that
the
stuff,
promo code on your screen,
why don't you look at the
or call
definitions of
1-800
black,
number below
white,
to receive this
brown,
exclusive
different
offer.
things in
Thank you and
the
God
American
bless.
dictionary,
We're going
and
to talk
start
to
there.
Anthony Pirro in just a moment, but first we want to show you a sample of what we've been
Back to the
gathering
show. Sorry.
behind the scenes for our long-form documentary series, Tucker Carlson Originals. We got this content from the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, inside of it. It will appear later this December in a new documentary we're making for Fox Nation, The Trial of Kyle. Here's a bit of it.
It's just stuff that keeps you up at night. Like, once you finally do get to sleep,
Your dreams are about what happened, and you're waking up in a dark, cold sweat.
Yeah. You had dreams about what happened?
Every single night. It's quite scary, actually, because the dreams feel so real, and they're not the same at all. They're all different. They're the different scenarios that run through your head during the day, like what could have happened. Like, I'm alive, but what could have happened? Like, what if I wasn't alive, or what if I did let Mr. Rosenbaum steal my gun? It's those type of dreams. The outcome of it's bad, but almost every outcome is either me getting seriously injured or hurt or dead. Those are just the dreams I have on a daily basis.
The defendant will rise, face the jury, and hearken to its verdicts.
State of Wisconsin versus Kyle Rittenhouse. As to the first count of the information, Joseph Rosenbaum. We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis. We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
How do you feel, man?
The jury reached the correct verdict. Self-defense is not illegal. And I believe they came to the correct verdict, and I'm glad that everything went well. It's been a rough journey, but we made it through it. We made it through the hard part.
That documentary, The Trial of Kyle, comes out in a few weeks. You can sign up for free access to watch it on Fox Nation. Just go to tuckercarlson.com. So we had a lot of footage at that trial. As we said, it'll be out in December. So for now, to kind of put a bow on all of this, what we just saw, we want to talk to our friend Judge Janine Pirro, the host of Justice with Judge Janine. Hey, Judge, what do you think of that?
What's up, Judge?
Well, first of all, it's amazing. It's amazing that you got this interview, Tucker. But I must tell you, I was blown away by the interview. This young man is far more intelligent than people wanted to give him credit for. There are many more dimensions to him than people realize. They saw him as a 17-year-old from a small town with kind of a boyish face, a boyish demeanor. And what they'll hear tonight in this interview, or what we all heard, was a young man who understood the enormity of the ramifications of his trial. It's almost as though he recognized it wasn't even about Kyle Rittenhouse. It was about the right of self-defense. He was smart enough to articulate this. He was smart enough to be able to recognize that what he was going through was really about American law and the Constitution and his right to defend himself. What will shock people is that he was very articulate in his description of supporting the Black Lives Matter movement, and then went to the next step and said, you know, if someone were of color and in the same situation, I would be worried for them. I'm hoping they would have the same resources that I had. This is a young man who was a very empathic young man. All of the things he did in his life were to help people. And the fact that when you said to him, you know, why are you so calm? And he said, I've learned that I can't get upset about things that I can't control. I mean, you have to be like 50 before you figure that out. This kid has a tremendous future in front of him. He is not angry. When you asked him about the president, what he would say, he just came back, not like a normal 18-year-old punk. He came back and he said, I would say, Mr. President, if you could go back and look at the facts, you would realize that what you said wasn't accurate. Everything he said, everything he talked about, the fact that he was able to go through all of this, never get angry, never lose his cool. The fact that when you said to him, you said, don't you want to hold people accountable? He said, well, you know, I'm my lawyers, I'm going to leave that up to them. And then you came back at him, Tucker, and you said, but really, don't you want to hold them accountable? And he said, like I said, you know, I'm relying on my lawyers. You know, it was like the withering cross-examination that he withstood in front of a nation aware of the impact and consequences of that cross-examination. Nothing moved him off the truth. This young man is a truth teller. This young man is far more mature than his years. And even a mother, and, you know, I can't imagine as a mother, but his mom wanted him to hide. He said, no, I have to confront it. I have to face it. Just like he did that night when he put his hands up and he tried to turn himself into the police, and the police told him to get out of the way.
Well, they pepper sprayed him.
They pepper sprayed him.
Which tells you just about everything. They were protecting the car lot, by the way.
Yeah, and he didn't have anything negative to say about the police. He's going through hell. He is literally going through hell. The police are not there. His community is being burnt down, and yet he's willing to help and not say anything about anyone else. God bless this boy.
We're out of time. Judge Janine, thank you. Welcome to Hannity. And tonight, coming up, a major announcement at the end of the show. But first, we begin with this weekend's terrible news. Waukesha, Wisconsin is now reeling only one day after a violent career criminal plowed his SUV into a Christmas parade, killing 5 and injuring dozens more, including multiple children. Yesterday at around 4:30 p.m., 39-year-old, quote, aspiring rapper Darrell Brooks was allegedly fleeing the scene of a domestic dispute when he drove his red Ford SUV past police barriers at a high rate of speed and onto a parade route, ultimately hitting more than 40 men, women, and children. Only 48 hours earlier, Brooks posted a $1,000 cash bond and was released from jail after assaulting the mother of his children and, get this, attempting to run her over with his car. Defund, dismantle the police, no bail, low bail. How is all of this working out for the country? That's right. He tried to run over his ex-girlfriend, got out of jail after posting a mere $1,000. Now, this despite a lengthy rap sheet filled with violent crimes going back decades. Look at your screen. 1999, aggravated battery and gun charges. 2000, more gun charges and resisting arrest. 2002, 2003, 2005, more resisting arrest charges and drug charges. 2010, strangulation, domestic abuse. 2010 through 2020, several more resisting arrest charges, drug charges, more gun charges, another domestic abuse charge.
Anyways, y'all, so I'm not going to go into all that because that stuff's very touchy, and this was kind of centered at Kyle Rittenhouse because I know it was a first interview, and I wanted you all to be able to hear it on a different perspective, not on a liberal or a progressive perspective, but on a libertarian type, Republican type, veteran perspective. All right. There's a lot of stuff out there. I know that people are afraid to give their opinions, their true opinions of what happened or what they feel is the truth. All I'm going to tell you is this. Look, millions of guys go downrange for your rights. Your right to self-defense. Your right to carry a firearm. Your right to freedom of speech. So use it. Use it freely. Don't be afraid out there to be able to do what you are afforded to and what is legal and lawful. All right? If you have to defend yourself, you have to defend yourself. You know what I mean? Do it the right way. Make sure you're doing it the right way. Be a good person out there and don't sway with either or. You know what I mean? Start being in the middle. Start looking at things on both perspectives. Stop looking at things one-sided. You know what I'm saying? I look at the other side of the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. The motherfucker should have never even been there. He's 17 years old. He should have never had a fucking gun in the first place. But then again, I'd rather have him carrying a fucking gun than that lawyer in the courtroom. That's probably 50 years old. Because he's pointing at a jury member with his finger on the trigger. He doesn't even know how to use it. So is it really, guys, an issue of age, or is it an issue of discipline and training? Is it an issue of mindset or panic? What are we in? I challenge you to do the right thing. Read between the lines. And make all those veterans proud. Peace. I'll see y'all.